Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
When I just came home from work, my babies was stuck in the stove dead, and I just came home from work. My
Wait, man.
cousin was babysitting my kids and left my kids dead in my house. Ain't no telling how long they've been in this house.
On a quiet October evening in 2017, the city of Atlanta was shaken by a heart-wrenching tragedy that would haunt a family and community forever. It began with a frantic 911 call from Lamora Williams, a 24-year-old single mother who had just returned home from work to find her two youngest children dead. Her trembling voice carried a mix of fear and desperation as she described a horrifying scene. Her babies lifeless, burned, and left in the kitchen stove. Lamora claimed that she had entrusted a cousin to babysit her children while she worked. However, upon her return, the apartment door was ajar, swinging slightly as if someone had left in haste. Inside, her oldest son sat crying in the living room. A strange, acrid smell hung in the air. Fear gripping her heart, Lamora rushed to the kitchen, only to find the unimaginable. Her babies, 1-year-old Keontae Penn and 2-year-old Jacarter Williams, were lifeless. Her frantic words painted a picture of chaos and despair as she pleaded with the emergency operator for help. Minutes after Lamora's call, the boy's father, Jamil Penn Sr., made his own harrowing 911 call. Just moments earlier, he had received a video call from Lamora. During the call, she turned the camera toward the lifeless bodies of their sons. Jamil, shocked and devastated, could barely speak as he begged for help, hoping against hope that what he had seen wasn't real. "I prayed it was a prank," he said, his voice breaking, but deep down he knew the truth. When police and emergency responders arrived, they were greeted by Lamora, standing at the doorway, visibly shaken. The stench of something burnt filled the air. Inside, on the cold kitchen floor, lay the bodies of Jacarter and Keontae. Investigators quickly noted severe burns and head injuries on the children, raising chilling questions. Had this been a tragic accident, or was something far more sinister at play? The coroner's report later revealed that the children had suffered prolonged exposure to dry heat in the oven. Though the exact cause of death remained inconclusive, the findings were haunting. Investigators began piecing together the timeline and motives, uncovering a web of pain, neglect, and mental health struggles. Lamora's life had been marked by struggle from an early age. Born in 1983 in Atlanta, Georgia, she grew up in a household where her parents and older sister affectionately nicknamed her Red. But behind the family's warmth lay a history of mental health challenges. Lamora's mother, Brenda, recalled troubling behaviors from her daughter's childhood. Violent tendencies and outbursts that forced her to homeschool Lamora, fearing she might harm others. "She would cut her dolls' heads off or hurt her siblings," Brenda said, like something out of a horror movie. Despite her family's efforts to seek help, the state failed to recognize Lamora's struggles. Teachers dismissed her as a slow learner, and no support systems were put in place. As she grew older, these unaddressed issues festered. At 18, Lamora gave birth to her first child, London, but the relationship with the child's father soon ended. She eventually met Jamil Penn, with whom she shared a deep connection, despite signs of depression lurking beneath her lively exterior. After Lamora gave birth to 2 more children, Jacarter and Keontae, her mental health began to deteriorate rapidly. The death of her father in 2014, a man she deeply relied on for stability, pushed her further into despair. She quit her job in September 2017, overwhelmed by the pressures of motherhood and the weight of her struggles. Lamora's mother, Brenda, had long sensed that her daughter was unraveling. She repeatedly reached out to Child Protective Services, pleading for intervention and warning of the potential danger. Her pleas were ignored. Neighbors, too, noticed troubling signs. Lamora often left her children alone for hours while she worked or ran errands. The stench of neglect and despair seemed to seep through the walls. Even Jamil, though separated from Lamora, worried for his son's safety. He visited frequently and provided financial support, but nothing could have prepared him for the horror that unfolded. In the early hours of October 14, 2017, investigators arrested Lamora Williams on suspicion of murdering her sons. Evidence suggested that she had placed the boys in the oven sometime between October 12th and 13th. The motive remained unclear, But detectives theorize that Lamora's deteriorating mental state, combined with the pressures of raising three young children alone, had driven her to commit the unthinkable. Lamora's surviving son, 3-year-old Jamil Jr., became a key witness. The child's haunting words echoed in investigators' ears. "Mommy hurt my brothers." The weight of what he had seen would remain with him forever. The tragedy left a ripple of grief in its wake. The boys were laid to rest in a somber funeral attended by family, friends, and even a descendant of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Their caskets, adorned with pictures of superheroes, were carried by white horses in a silent procession. Meanwhile, Lamora's family grappled with the unthinkable. Her mother, Brenda, expressed deep sorrow, but admitted she was not entirely surprised by the outcome. "I've been afraid for years," she confessed. Jamil sought solace in therapy for himself and his surviving son, determined to protect him from further trauma. Lamora's legal journey remains shrouded in mystery. She was indicted on charges of murder, aggravated assault, and cruelty to children. But questions about her mental fitness for trial have stalled proceedings. For years, her name has disappeared from public records, leaving the public to wonder whether she will ever face justice. As the case lingers in limbo, the story of Lamora Williams serves as a chilling reminder of the consequences of neglect, both personal and systemic. It is a tale of mental health struggles overlooked, family pleas ignored, and a system that failed to act before it was too late. For Jamil Penn Sr., life is now a mission to honor his son's memory and ensure their tragedy is not forgotten. "I want my story to help someone else," he says. "If it can prevent another child from being hurt, then my boys' lives will have meaning." In the end, the story of Lamora Williams is a haunting reminder of the fragile threads that hold lives together. A mother consumed by her own demons, children lost in the wake of despair, and a system that failed to act when the signs were clear. Yet amidst the tragedy, there lies a message of hope, a father's unyielding love for his surviving son, a community mourning together, and the possibility of learning from the darkness to bring light to others. This tale implores us to listen more closely, act more swiftly, and cherish those we hold dear. For in our collective strength, perhaps such heartbreak can one day be prevented. As we reflect on the heartbreaking story of Lamora Williams and her family, let it serve as a poignant reminder of the importance of addressing mental health, supporting struggling parents, and listening to cries for help before it's too late. If this story moved you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Together, we can shine a light on the stories that matter and work towards a world where every voice is heard and every child is safe. Stay safe, and thank you for watching.